This song actually is about Lundy. Now, has anybody been to Lundy Island? Not one single hand has gone up. Catherine stuck her hand up. Catherine and I went down there in about 1980, I suppose it was. And we went and stayed at the old light. I'll just pick it out for you. That's the old light there, right on the top of the island. And it was originally built, you know, as a lighthouse, as you would expect. But they discovered it was nearly always in fog. There was always a low cloud sitting over Lundy. So the first thing they did was to lower the light from the top of the lighthouse to the bottom, thus negating the whole point of building it, really. But even that proved too high. And so they actually abandoned the light altogether, and they built one down there and another one right up at the top end, and those are the ones that are working now. But the old light has now been converted into accommodation by the Landmark Trust, which runs Lundy, and we went and we stayed in the bit on the right. You couldn't go in the other bit then. Anyway, Tom Napper and I, you've heard of Tom Napper, he's my duo partner. Tom Napper and I had a touring show which we took down the village halls called Island Slices, and the first time we took it down to Devon, they were a bit miffed because we hadn't got a song about Lundy. And I did know some stories that were suitable for songs, particularly the wreck of the Montagu, but I've got a lot of shipwreck songs, as you will be seeing tonight, and I didn't think I needed another one. But then the great songwriter from the West Country, Henry Clements, reminded me that when the Montagu slammed into Lundy, there she is, there was no loss of life and very little damage. There was massive incompetence on the part of the skipper, however, who had no idea where he was. He wasn't looking where he was going. And she just slammed into the shutter rock, that's that rock on the right there, and just perched there for a while. But there was also massive incompetence on the part of the salvaging authorities, who completely failed to float her, even though she's really undamaged in that picture. All they did was drag her out into the deeper water, where she came off the rock and sank immediately. And it took them about 6 months and £1 million to do it. So I thought maybe I wouldn't have to write quite such a serious song. But it wasn't until Henry told me the name of the skipper I pricked up my ears. The skipper's name was Captain Thomas Adair. Marvellous sort of chap, isn't he, Mary? Now, I know the Adair family go right back in naval terms. There's always been Adairs in the Navy, back as far as Trafalgar and beyond. There was a Captain Charles Adair on the Victory at Trafalgar, and he was the last man to be killed before Lord Nelson. Lord Nelson's last words before being shot were, "There goes poor Adair, I fear he may be next." Sure enough, he was. And I know this because my family are married to the Adair family. My cousin is Alan Adair, and he's in the Navy, and he's done very well for himself. He's now a Commodore. He's just come back from being officer in charge of British forces in Gibraltar. We're very proud of him, so I rang him up. "Hello, Alan." "Oh, hello, Tom. I'm thinking of writing a song about Lundy." "Oh, God, no." It's about a ship called the Montagu." "Yes." Terrible incompetence on the part of the skipper. "No, yes, I know. He just slammed it straight into Lundy. He wouldn't look at me. He said, I know. He's not a relation of yours, is he?" "Yes." It was years before they trusted me with my own battleship. So this is for my cousin Alan. I must get him to send me a slightly less cheesy photograph. And this has a very nice chorus, very easy chorus, which I hope you'll join in with now you're all warmed up. "Well, we sailed upon the Montagu one sunny morn in May, the finest ship afloat, the most expensive anyway. With shiny guns and gadgets she had cost £1 million, which is why it was so tragic when he ran the thing aground. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, never trouble to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle." You didn't join in. It wasn't too hard for you, was it? Come on, give it a go in the second one. "We were working with the wireless, our skipper's latest toy, calling all the way to Cornwall, Montagu ahoy, when suddenly there's a juddering and a shuddering and a shock. Well, bugger me, he shunted her upon the shutter rock. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, never trouble to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle." Well, the water filled the wireless room, so that's no bloody use. The skipper tells me lower a boat and take a little cruise. The Heartland Light is but a mile along this Devon shore. Tell 'em send a man to ride and fetch a ship to put us clear. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, never troubled to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle. So I said, we need a healthy horse to summon the alarm. How far is it from Heartland to the nearest decent farm? The keeper shrugged his shoulders and he smiled a little smile. Well, before you find a farm, you'll have to swim for 20 mile. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, had the trouble to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle. Well, the salvage of the Montagu became a national joke. Even barges from Bermuda couldn't make the bugger float. Though they spent another fortune, it was all to no avail. So Adair goes for court-martial and presumably to jail. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, had the trouble to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle. So they had him on the Victory to shear him of his pips. Said, you simply can't be trusted not to scupper any more ships, so we're promoting you to Admiral to protect us from your flaws. And now he's in the House of Commons where he's making up the laws. And I dare say Adair is a decent sort of chap, but he struggled to check his reckoning, had the trouble to study the map. In the middle of his fiddling and a twiddling with his dial, the mighty Montagu met the middle of Lundy Isle. Well sung, wonderful.